Well, hello there, my darlings, and welcome back to a speed build. Welcome back to the Nostalgia series. This is a series that I'm putting together full of speed builds of lots of nostalgic things from the 90s, the late 80s, down to the, what's it called? The early noughties. There we go, I got it right, there we are. And it is with a very much British kind of aesthetic. And this is a series that was the best introduction I've ever done through any of my videos whatsoever. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. That was awful. But here we are. Here we are with a 90s youth club. And a youth club, if anybody doesn't know what a youth club is, it was a space where children and teens could get together. And I think there was always like a fee to get in. I think it was always like £1 or something. And that would include a drink. They had lots of activities there, like table tennis. I remember playing pool as well. What else? And it was always in this kind of building. This building here was near on a replica of the one that I used to go to, the youth club that I used to go to in my youth. And I wanted to recreate it for you today in The Sims 4, and this is what we're doing. So as always, we're using a bit of custom content here and there. So what I actually made this place into in The Sims, so it kind of makes a little bit of sense, is a recreation center. The new build, well, new-ish build type that came with The Sims 4 growing together. Am I right in that? Yeah, I think it was. So I had to add a few things in that weren't necessarily in my youth club when I was young, like showers, for instance. That was not a thing. But I made it work, and it works nicely in The Sims 4 as well. So it was a very simple looking building. I remember this building being very much like this slopey sort of slanted down roof. I even went onto Google Earth just to check it was still there, and it still is. It's not a youth club anymore. I'm not telling you where it is because it's very close to where my parents live, and I don't want to dox them. But I used to love this. I used to be, I don't know if I've ever told, well, I have told it on the channel before, but I used to dance. I used to be part of a dance club, various dances, including the chicken dance. I'm joking. I'm just going off on a tangent now. But this is where I found the dance club. The dance club was part of the youth club, and I actually went on to do it professionally for a few years. Well, not professionally, but I used to enter competitions and stuff. And win them as well, by the way. Let me just add that in. And I used to do it in this particular youth club. So this always brought back a lot of memories to me. And yeah, loved it. I am using custom content as throughout the whole of this series. So if there's anything new, I will point it out to you, including those wall pieces. They are from Peacemaker's Loft Living. I've had them in the game before, and I got rid of them because I was not using them as much, but I really wanted them for this particular build because I remember these. I remember something similar being on the front of the building, so I had to go and download that. I will leave a link to that down below. We're using Max 20's cars out the front as well, and I'm using a bit of debug here and there as well. The majority of this is all CC free, really, apart from the windows, a couple of the wallpapers and the interiors, the cars outside, or all of the windows and doors, sorry. And yeah, so if you want to download this into your game and you don't want to use custom content, you can easily get rid of it and not bloody use it, darlings. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. I really did. I was thinking about all the times that I used to go to youth club. I was looking around everywhere for a frog bin. Does anybody remember those green plastic frog bins that used to be in schools and youth clubs and stuff? I was looking around for a custom content one, and they don't do one anywhere, which I'm not surprised because they were bloody awful, but I just thought it would have worked well within this build. But sadly, I could not use it because I would have put it out the front without a doubt. I used to get on top of it and ride it because I was that kind of young gay. But yeah, anyway, into the interiors. So I've already put the wallpapers and the flooring on and chosen the floor plan. It's a very simple floor plan, but it really works. It works really well. Everybody uses everything as well, which I was quite surprised about. And yeah, just a nice vibe throughout here, very friendly. And I wanted to kind of go down the route of making it look semi-90s. So I put up some like polystyrene-esque sort of tiled ceiling moments, some bigger lights, some garish carpets that you can see, This area here is where the jukebox is. There was always a jukebox in the youth club that I used to go to. And it was 20p a song. I always remember that. 20p a song it was. So I used to take a quid in 20p's just to put on some songs. And they usually consisted of the Spice Girls. All Saints as well. All Saints was a good favourite of mine. What else? Who else? Many others. Questionable ones as well. I will not lie to you. But this area here is kind of the entrance hall, and I do a little computer room. There was always a room that was kind of half open with a half wall, an IRL half wall, and it had a couple of old PCs on it. And I actually downloaded some older PCs from Max 20 as well, which I will leave a link for down below. And they were just perfect. They are absolutely perfect. You'll see them in a little bit as we get into furnishing the interiors properly. But yeah, I loved it. There was always a little canteen as well with a tuck shop that I used to get all my Panda Pops from, which were these kind of bottled soft drinks. And I always used to go for the shandy flavour. So there was no surprise, like to this day, why I love my beer, because I was drinking it at the age of 10. There was no alcohol in it, don't worry. But it was just kind of shandy flavoured. That's quite bad actually, isn't it? Selling kids shandy. Like, the more you think back to like when you were younger, honestly, the things I used to get sent down the shop for, like I used to buy cigarettes down the shop. They're for my mum. My mum doesn't smoke anymore, but she used to. And I used to have to go down and bloody buy them. How bad is that? That is very naughty, but that is a very British thing. People around the world are probably recoiling at that, but that's just part of our culture, to be honest. She used to send me down there for cigarettes and tights. I used to have to buy her tights for work. What the hell? Can you imagine doing that nowadays? That would not happen. You used to have to get sent down with a note. How bad. The more I think about that, the older I feel, actually, because that is an older thing, isn't it? But anyway, canteen. You can imagine things being cooked up in here for all of the kids and the teens and whatnot. But yeah, tuck shop was the way to go for there. But yeah, look at these old PCs from Max 20. I love them. They are so good. They look absolutely perfect in game as well. And I put a couple here as well. And there was always like a really old kind of text-based adventure game that I used to play. I cannot remember for the life of me what it was called. But I was a big gamer before that anyway, but that was another reason why I loved gaming so much. It was those text-based adventure games on PC. My dad used to play them, so I kind of got brought up with them. And yeah, I used to love them. I used to love playing with them in the youth club. I thought it was very fun. Did a little reading. I didn't really talk about it, but I did a little reading corner as well with a little like book area too. There was always a little reading area with bean bags in the youth club I went. And these are the bathrooms. I had to add a shower in. It's not really there was no showers in the youth club that I used to frequent, but I decided to put it in here anyway, just so it kind of acted as a recreation centre in The Sims. So this makes a lot of sense in game. Yeah, it really works in game as well. As I said, they all were playing with absolutely everything, and it was fun. It was so much fun to create this. It really was. Using the nostalgic tiles and the nostalgic toilet, but everything else, floor tiles, I mean, the wall are in-game ones. I forget where they're from actually. But yeah, stunning. Little plunger as well, because you know what kids are like with toilets. They're disgusting creatures. You know what kids' toilets smell like. They're rank, aren't they? We all remember the smell of the boys' toilets in school. They were disgusting. They really were awful. Now this room here is a kind of gym. This was where we used to hang out. We used to have a bit like a gym area. There was a basketball hoop. There was a store cupboard as well that you saw me put in the kitchen just a minute ago. And we used to play. Does anybody remember when they got the parachute out? Oh my god, that was the best time at youth club, wasn't it? When you saw they were getting the parachute out, and it was just literally a full-size parachute that we would all have like an edge each, all stand around in a circle, and we could lift it up. And what was that about, you know? But it was one of the funnest times ever, wasn't it, really? But in here, I put a little stand-up piano. I do some gym equipment as well. That's not really realistic. And you saw me put those ladders on the wall. That is kind of acting as one of those apparatus. You know, they used to pull them out from the wall and you would have to climb up them and stuff. A bit like a school sort of gym. And that was where my head went with this. Now, this pool table, working pool table, Sims 4 custom content, is all animated and everything. Is absolutely great. So I will leave a link to that down below as well. And it was the all-important aircon going all through. But this was a really simple, quick build for me to do. Honestly, I think I built this in within 2 hours. I was like, oh my God, I'm completely finished. And it was just because the memories were just coming to me. And I've managed to get it done really soon. So very short speed build today. But I don't know. It's all been worth it. It really has. Anyway, my loves, you're going to watch a video tour. And I'm going to be back tomorrow with some Let's Build the Worlds. Goodbye.